All right, everybody, let's get to it. We're going to have an abbreviated session today and then come back in full on Tuesday. A couple quick announcements. We're going to do the option session next Friday. So I finally managed to get a little blog post up there. It's basically the same session as last time, but we're going to go to longer term monthly and quarterly options, different time frames, a couple different considerations, but I hope you can join me next Friday live. And I'll be posting some opportunities early in the week. So hopefully we get a couple of real-time things that can set up like we did last time. All of the opportunities we mentioned in the last session worked out incredibly well. So let's try to find a few of those next week. I'll post them in the Discord. And folks, if you don't know, get over to harmonictrader.com, please. Become a basic member. Simply register now and go over to the basic members page. I'll update that, but everyone needs to get with the TradingView software. And so you send your full name, TradingView username to hpc@sr-analyst.com. Listen, I'm working on a new tool a type 1, type 2 tool. I've really been working on it for a long time, but I think the basic iteration and version I can lay out. I can release that pretty quickly. So let's get into a couple of immediate opportunities, folks. Riot Blockchain, all these stocks just continue to pull back. Every 5-minute opportunity is almost a nice little day trade. I'm looking at this, though, more on the hourly. Check out Riot. Real nice, big Gartley type 2. something really close to setting up a continuation. I think crypto, and let's start with crypto today because I do think interesting things are coming together, and we have to jump over to the obvious one, XRP trying to bust up after yesterday the big pop. There you go, hourly bat pattern right now in XRP. The fact that XRP is flirting back up here towards the 92-cent level is a very good thing. Beautiful hourly pattern on XRP. And what's here? What everyone should be alerted to, which is target one at, depending on your feed, it's 92 or 96 cents. We had that amazing move last week up to 92.9 cents exactly. The high on that feed, on the KuCoin feed, was 93.6, and it was very similar for Bitstamp and Binance. It was all 92.9. Sounds like a radio station. There's Binance. We knew that. That's type 1 structural. And one of the side notes, that things that I think I'm going to just lay out a basic one where we start to mark the type 1 minimums. So theoretically, and the way that I'll do that is we have the sun icon. Check it out. So really, we've been aware of this type 1 situation in XRP for a long time. With that crazy move up to target 1, yeah, that's the end of the type 1 reaction, but it's not over. It can still go higher. We could still push. I think we could still push even until we get some kind of confirmation in this target 1, target 2 zone. It's going to take more time to do that, but just from the simple reactive move, okay, XRP, that's over. And it's kind of the thing we're looking for in Bitcoin as well. I've got to say that we are anticipating a type 1 reaction in Bitcoin to its relative target 1 objective this year. Let's run down the top 5 because there's really a lot going on here. Bitcoin under 30,000. And coming off the shark pattern, we know this. I'm not surprised here. Also, take note, tomorrow's the 21st, so that gives us that window. I expect something really soon. The next day to 3 days, we should see something kind of come together here. Maybe we get a little flash down for the 5-0. It really, longer term, you're fine on Bitcoin. And the big news that we're trying to position for here is this next correction to give you a trend line continuation up to target 1. I know a lot of people love to throw out numbers, round numbers, 6-figure numbers, 7-figure numbers. Let's take it in chunks. Nothing in our entire Bitcoin world matters until 37.4, 37.5 is hit. So absolutely. Hey, big shout out to everybody in the chat. Don't want to ignore you folks. The first one in today that put in GOLD is Makeshift Player. So you win a gold membership and you get to come to the options seminar. I'll give away one more gold membership. Like I said today, folks, I'm going to be here till about 12:30 and then have to get out. And everyone think good harmonic thoughts today. Just good harmonic thoughts. Now, Bitcoin doesn't change even if it came back to 28, which is the shark objective right now. That's still a next opportunity style setup. Shark goes to a 5-0. The 5-0 confirms, and then we start the next leg off of that retracement. That is what you're thinking on your way to get to 37.3, 37.5 later this year. What's going on, everybody in the chat? Justin, Miss Stephanie, Hawk, what's up? Alex, Makeshift Player, congratulations. Just really good. Victoria, everyone else, great to see you. Welcome back. We're here Tuesday, Thursday. Hope everyone can make the option presentation next Friday. And I did post, by the way, I did post the option presentation, the recording of the session. So and it's only going to be up for a few weeks, but it's over here. It's on the blog, harmonictrader.com. Go to the blog, and then it's right there. And just click the link. Click that link, and it's that link there. I'll have that up for about 2 weeks, preceding the next session. That way, you know what you're getting into. You don't waste your time. Hey, it's totally fine. I want people to know what they're getting into. Don't want to waste anybody's time. So check that out. But Bitcoin, that's the situation. And I don't, the pattern looks a lot more ideal now. Looks like easily a 28,358 retest would be nothing within this reaction after the last month move of getting up to 30, almost 32,000. And 32,000 is the kind of the next step in this process, with 28 as the support. Again, acceleration phase for the whole move for Bitcoin is above 32,000. So if that is in a month, or if that's in 3 months, say September timeframe, after this sideways action, not surprised. And the whole deal is to get to the end of the year, folks. You want to get to the end of the year. And then you get into, full ramp mode with what you're trying to look for, the Bitcoin halving, with the statistically every cycle being quite positive. And especially when you get 6 months within that halving, you really start to see some pre-cycle gains. I should do something about that in the future, just go through a walkthrough, but not today. That's what we're looking for, though. Okay. Nothing. But that's still number 2. It's going to be number 2 forever. 1,800, can we get there? Can we do something like maybe here on the 2,000, the top end? Yeah, there's the arrows too. This still doesn't change. Really quick. We're still here, 1,800. Those are my arrows from last week, 1,800 and 2,000. You might get a few more tests. I think Ethereum at the 2,000 mark is probably going to bang its head for a while. And we'll see if we can get a larger opportunity for a pullback, 1,800 or 1,700. I would think 1,700, 1,750 is probably an opportunity. Remember, there was some 4-hour formations down here. A couple of back-to-back. Deep crab down there, all the way at 1,630. But this other little crab at 2,000. So you're squeezed, 1,800 to 2,000. Doesn't really matter. Look, number 3, because we changed the order. Maybe it should be XRP, because that is a real barometer now for the whole crypto industry. So let's just kind of circle back one more second on XRP. Here you are. Okay, a couple of HSIs on a 4-hour, yellow dots here. What's the daily look like? Daily's overbought, sure. But here's your uptrend, and that uptrend is, more like 60 cents, 70 cents. Be patient with it. I do think that will see much higher prices once things get, real official. We've always said that this is more about the news announcement to set it off into a new, larger phase. And think of it this way. Let's just run the spread of numbers. I mean, that's amazing. So it's such a beautiful pattern. I mean, the thing is, what's the only thing missing here in this chart for everyone, for XRP holders? It's time. That's it. Time to realize the whole framework and larger price objectives. Within those pattern constraints, let's not even say anything about the possibility of it challenging all-time highs which is not a crazy thought where, hey, you connect the dots, it's an X, A, B, C, maybe that's a Gartley. That's an all-time Gartley with a 786 at 265. Still fine. The only thing missing here is time. In the same way, and I equate it a lot to Bitcoin, back in 2018, 2020 cycles, spoke with Miss Teen Crypto like a week or 2 weeks ago already. It was just almost 2 weeks ago already, about these longer term patterns that developed, and just showed a few of those. And I explained why, that these two patterns are really similar to the XRP situation and a few others. Like, some of these crypto players, they're going to be realized. Something like XRP is going to be realized in the same way that people talked about Bitcoin at 3,000 and said, forget about 3,000. That's a floor. That's not a ceiling. We're looking for 10,000. And people thought they were crazy. But what we did have were clear patterns, weekly, confirmation, 2 of 2s. So that's why this is so critical on XRP now. Let's make that number 3. Number 4 is going to have to be Cardano for the same fundamental framework reason that we are way down here on the whole chart. If this is a player, you're down here at the 2 of 2 mark on major deep crab patterns, a little bearish pattern, back-to-back stuff, but 25 cents, 25 to 30 cents generally is a long-term proposition in the same way that 40 cents on XRP was. So check that out. And I do think we're early in that whole scenario. That's 4. That's 3. Number 4, I do like and want to kind of bring up those that are in perfect position. Cosmos. It's a 2 of 2 down here with a Gartley of all things. $9. And we're looking for this to pop off and find a low down here really for the first time. But you're 2 of 2, confirmation. I like that. And by the way, I'm going to kick Binance Coin out. I'm not really I'll show it in a second, but I'm going to remove it out of the top 5 because I want to look at things that are there at 2 of 2s. Cardano, Cosmos. We're seeing what can happen with XRP. And then another one that I think it's probably already too far gone, but maybe not. Maybe you get another chance. Is Matic. It's a 2 of 2 with several patterns here, and I think it's maybe comes back down one more time. Where's the weekly here on Matic? Couple of weekly levels. You're at the 886. I think all of these that have some real constructive bottoms here are better than a lot of the flatliners. They're not even low floaters. They're flatliners. One or two more. This let's see. Oh, this is it. Zcash. So I'm really, I like Zcash for a lot like Compound. It's going to take a little bit more time maybe than Compound, but you're down there with really scraping the lows for the year, trying to put in the lows. So let me quickly look at Bitcoin Cash because I did notice that that's rolled back to 250 now. How low will this go? Is that a one-off and then comes all the way back down? We got to see. We're at a yellow dot for the first time on the daily chart. So you're oversold finally here, and on the 4-hour chart, we have this crab pattern. So maybe Bitcoin Cash somewhere 235, 220. I think that's pretty sweet. So takeaway here, even the ones that are popping off, even like XRP, will get more opportunities on these folks. Stay with it though. I have to keep moving on because I want to get to the Qs and everything's happening in our top 5 tech. QQQ. Okay, so here's the big deal. Last 2 days, and I'm not surprised to see this thing pop off, but here's the situation. Okay, we're almost at the top end of our daily level. We've said forever 390, 392. We were, targeting a couple of weekly levels as well. Here we go. 387 is the XA off the alternate bat, that formation. And ultimately, the top end at 886 is 395, 396. So we're really, we got close just yesterday. We were real close, and they're just selling it off after that long run. That's not surprising. I expect this to be kind of a reactive low, and we'll get some. Let it fall. I've said that a few times in the last month on different days. Like, let these fall for you. The 4-hour chart is probably where to go for these, and the Qs. Look, they overran 382 on the 4-hour was the deep crab level, but you didn't do any kind of 3-bar breakdown until really like 84 area. And we could still be in a type 1 down to 376 and have that be a reaction. So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised to see that come down a little bit more. And we're still reaction within the uptrend. And the 886, maybe we set it up like this now with the Qs, do some profit taking, and then come off. Maybe that's the summer. Maybe that's a little peak for now, a pausing peak at 88, and then let it come in and set up for the return maybe a little bit later. I thought we would tag the hop at like 89, 88 and change. I mean, we got really close. It's amazing. What was the peak there yesterday? Was it might have been 87, 86 and change. No, 87, 87.50. So, I do want to pay attention to these. A couple more. Let's do the top 5. Obviously, Microsoft. The big news here, Microsoft had that insane. So I caught this type 2 move, and we were talking about that last time. Microsoft, as we were in our session, was up 20 here, and then rolled all the way back down. I scaled out. The contracts were plus, I don't know, they were plus, they were the 40s. They were plus, almost plus 25 or something. I ended up getting out at 18. But let's wait for the next setup. Maybe we get a bat pattern. There were a few that set up. Number 2, let's go to Apple or NVIDIA, quite frankly. Here's Apple. Earnings coming up. Had a big thrust up, and then they sold it off. They're going to try to keep doing that, so be aware. These huge pop-off moves are getting crushed. So if you're like Microsoft, or here's Apple, 192 to 197, it's monster. That's a monster move for Apple. And we were talking about Apple with this, where was it? We had I had this shark. No, we have the shark pattern now. What was the other one we were looking at? But let's look at that shark 193.42. Apple is a type 2, probably later today. 193.96 is the terminal bar. Eyes on that. Couple more. Let's get through this. Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA, of course. Great to see big swings like this. This is what we want. Check out NVIDIA. It's an alternate bat now, type 1. Down at 454. And we had this hourly or 4-hour on the extended. Hold on 1 second. There you go. It's another deep crab on the 4 hour, like Microsoft. So I'm watching this closely. A couple of back-to-back patterns here. It's either 460 or 448. Almost a perfect type 2 up there. But nothing yet. Nothing yet on this. And I actually, next one, because I think we should cover it just because of the earnings, Tesla. I posted a pattern late in the day on Tesla at 290, but I didn't have any option set up. And we had this hourly chart at 295. I wasn't going to play earnings, but I was looking at this 5-minute pattern. Where was it? Down here, the shark, yesterday for a retest. And it didn't have anything in the options and didn't do anything with it. Now your post earnings, here's a better setup altogether with this 5-minute crab pattern. And we don't have to play the pre-earnings announcement. I would be looking for stuff like 1 week before or even the day after, because you're going to get a lot of reactive moves after the earnings announcements. A couple more. Let's look at, I did Meta. Did I do Meta? Let's look at Meta. Who said there was a type 2 there? Tesla was almost a type, yeah, Tesla's almost a type 2. There's Meta. Okay, was a type 2. We were looking for the type 2, but check out what happened down there. I was looking for this back to 311. You know, you failed. You're failing pretty much on that 5-minute. So nothing really there at this point. What about the hourly? Wasn't there something here? Don't know. Don't know. All right, I'm going to give away one more gold membership so you guys someone can attend the option seminar. Next person to type in GOLD will win that 30-day gold membership, and you get the software too. So again, go over to harmonictrader.com, folks. Go over here and just check out the blog. I'll be posting it elsewhere. Oh, I did want to say, if you see this Cloudflare thing, we had an attack on our server yesterday, so we had to put in a Cloudflare filter. Clint, you win. Clint, you got to reach out to Miss Stephanie on the Discord. Both winners today. You have to contact Miss Stephanie on the Discord, send her your information, and she'll set you up. All right, one or two more. So a couple of you guys, hey, what's up, Dustin? Wants to look at Disney. I don't know if I want to look at Disney because I think Disney has just been one of those. We've looked at it for a long time between 85 and 90. Hasn't done much down here. It is a type 2. It might be worth a shot. It is a 2 of 2, but it has to hold 85. Give me a 3-bar reversal on Disney before I do anything. Next week we will do a full update on a lot of the new 3 ideas. There's a bunch that were triggered recently, so I want to get into those. What was your other one? Was Baba? Baba was one of our 3 ideas at 84, now 92. But is this going to get going? There's a few of these like that are, that are just range bound for the most part. But let's see what, I think the next week or so are going to tell us if we're going to continue. I think we're going to have to go pause a little bit. Stuff like what we saw in Tesla, Netflix. Let them come back. And here's Netflix really quick. Down 45 right now. Great. There on the daily. So where's that going? A daily hop level at 478. Cut right in their tracks. I would think maybe as low as 387 on a type 1 pullback. Thing looked like it was going to explode through the hop, but bad earnings. So let's start respecting more of those bearish setups Um, couple of the ones that, I'll get into next week. I think Shopify is up there with a deep crab. So a lot of these that are flashing these setups, let's start looking at that as maybe a pause point. We came really close, folks, to hitting the QQQ target. And I might be happy enough for now to say, let's be a little less enthusiastic. Let's let this thing come in. There's the SPY really quick one more time. And we're up there, the 450 mark. We're hitting some overbought levels. And it's not that I'm saying anything big other than, hey, if we pull back for a few days after running into these earnings, I wouldn't be surprised. Daniel wants to look at Bank of America, and then I've got a split. So you get the last one. Bank of America was a type 2 that goes to 33.91. So at least the banks are acting well. Perfect type 2 in Bank of America. And you know that Charles Schwab has been one of our three ideas. And Charles Schwab is definitely, you go to the weekly chart, it's perfect type 1 Gartley. Look at that. Let's do more of that on Tuesday. We'll come back and really give it a good, thorough work through. I think we've got a few things to pay attention to, no doubt. But anything that's a pullback, I think, is going to set you up for later in the fall. We could be at a temporary top right now, at least going into the summer, because we ripped really hard in the last 5 sessions. Before today, into yesterday morning, it's been a vacuum up. So let's come back to that on Tuesday, okay? Next Friday, we do the options. You get with the software, subscribe. If you have any questions, it's all free to join into the Discord to ask questions, and I'll do a little preview on Tuesday. All right, folks, have a great weekend. I got a bust. Get out. Take care. Until then, go get them. Have a great one.